two flights from Perth were forced to divert overnight after Iran struck a US airbase in Qatar. Now, the region is a massive hub for international travel, so what does it all mean going forward? Well, here to help us understand what it might mean is a former airline pilot and lecturer at the University of Southern Queensland, Chris Smith. Chris, can you give us an idea of what happens when Qatar closes its airspace, as it did just before those Iranian strikes at the US airbase?
Yes, Ben, I've been in the industry a long time and I have so much faith in how the security system works, and understandably because I know how it works, and it's highly sophisticated, operates 24 hours a day and they have access to the best information. It's really a sophisticated situation, Ben, but it's fluid all the time. So our flight dispatchers monitor what the world scene is, whether it be for weather events or political events like this, and adapt as we go. But of course, we're always conservative here, and we actually will never take a risk with anybody, let alone our passengers or crew. So in the very end, I just want to say from the start though, I wouldn't hesitate in sending any of my family flying now. And that's the faith I have in the global aviation security system. And ultimately, we are connected in the flight deck straight through to our company, and we get patched through to security if required, or engineering if required. And I've done it in the past. No matter where we are in flight, we can speak to them. So yes, things are fluid. I mean, you can't forecast everything, but we always default to a low risk situation. So when something at an airport like Doha or any of those close, it is very disruptive, but we've got the fuel to cater for that, and we'll divert, say, to Singapore or elsewhere.
And so can you give us an idea of just how crucial it is as an airspace corridor? Because some of the world's largest carriers are based in the Middle East.
It's really crucial, and that's where the growth is there, and in Southeast Asia, of course, but that is highly congested in there at the moment. And airlines travel, or aircraft travel on corridors. There's a lot of direct tracking these days, but primarily they operate in corridors. So when you do close a big airspace like that and divert around it, of course, all those aircraft have got to fit into a smaller corridor, so that can result in delays and sometimes cancellations and so forth. So, I'll give you an idea of how big it is over there at the moment. That Emirates Airlines are advertising that they'll recruit another 2,000 odd pilots, in the next few years. It's enormous. It's enormous. I can't even begin to describe the growth that's going on over there, truly.
Yeah, wow. And so it's an area that has experienced a lot of conflict in recent years, really for decades. And there'd be people in Australia looking at booking their holidays, and they might see, there's a layover in Doha, in Qatar, a layover in Dubai, and maybe have some second thoughts because we see on the news missiles flying from one country to another. You say that you'd send your family on an international flight at the moment. That's how much faith you have. Why do you have so much faith?
Because I know how it operates. It doesn't mean, I guess, when these things are happening, it doesn't mean that they will overnight in a place like that, Ben. But at some point, the decision will be made to either cancel a flight, divert it, or make another arrangement, And I guess from the point of view of the passengers, and we become passengers too, my family travel, we have to ask for as much patience as people can find because, airlines are operating out there in the world, and whether it's weather events, political events, whatever it may be, we are subject to that. But I really can't overstate just how good the security system is here. And when they're convened, it's operating all the time, 24 hours a day. And the best security systems, if you like, then are functioning when you don't see them, when you feel you don't need them, but they're there all the time. There is no time when they're not going. So at that point, they will make a decision on the current information as to which way the flight will go, but there's always a plan B and a plan C, Ben, always. So maybe the people won't be overnighting where they think they are. Probably they will, because their information's pretty darn good, really is.
Yeah, it does seem to be an industry that has redundancy built upon redundancy to ensure the utmost safety for the passengers. And so far, so good. Lecturer from the University of Southern Queensland, former airline pilot Chris Smith, thanks for sharing these insights on Newsworthy today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much, Ben.